Valley Club, are more diamonds coming to Marvel Strike Force? We got the new War and Cosmic Crucible season rules, and we're answering all of your questions in this video because while it's not Monday, it is Mailbag Tuesday. And if you're ready for all that, you know what to do, Valley Club. Find that like button and let's go smash it. And welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I am ValleyFlyin. I hope you're having an excellent day, and I hope you're ready for all the new War and Cosmic Crucible season rules. And if you get some value from this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you know as soon as a brand new video goes up on this channel. At least 5 Marvel Strike Force videos every single week on this channel. But let's get into these new Cosmic Crucible Season 15 and the new War rules. The embargo on this did lift yesterday, and normally when embargoes lift, there's a video out, and normally Mondays I'm streaming. Didn't do that yesterday, was struggling a little mentally and didn't really want to make a video, and I wanted to share that with everybody in case any of you are struggling mentally. Hopefully this little thing of what I went through yesterday helps. And I guess every now and then I just struggle mentally. Some of that is because of what I do, content creation, talking to a camera all day long, don't really talk to people. But normally it's fine because I do jujitsu and I'm talking to all my teammates there, talking to people that I'm coaching and everything there and helping people out. Well, I've been hurt for about 3 months, haven't been able to train, and I guess that's why I start to struggle a little more mentally. I did reach out to one of my buddies who's in the military and deals with a lot of that stuff, has a lot of friends that deal with that stuff, and I guess the reason I'd never really talk to anybody is because everything seems good in my life, right? Everything, you know, the work is good, my family's good, all that stuff. So it's like, why am I struggling mentally? So I was talking to him, and you know, he's had people that had some real issues, and I'm like, yeah, but all your friends have real issues. I'm just kind of sad. I don't know why. I feel lonely and everything like that. It's like, yeah, but you know, regardless of why you're feeling that way, you do need to address that, and that kind of made me feel better. So anyway, the point of all this, if any of you are struggling mentally, hopefully this little rant helps you and helps you realize that, hey, you're not alone in anything you're going through. Just reach out to people. But with that said, like I said, hopefully that helps any of you that are struggling with that. Let's get into these new Cosmic Crucible season rules, though. Matchmaking for season 15 begins on March 21st. And the first day of the trials begins on the 23rd. So next week, we're getting all this stuff. Important to know, the start time for Cosmic Crucible is changing to 1 p.m. Pacific, starting with season 15. Not sure why they're doing this, but I hope this is a good thing. That will be, what, 3 o'clock Central Time. So I guess that's an hour later. All right, the global rules for the next season on offense and defense: Harbinger characters. On successful hit, the primary target has trauma, perform an ISO attack against that target. All right, so it's decent rules here. Doesn't really, isn't super high impactful to the Harbinger characters, but I guess maybe some of these characters, I can't think of their kits off the top of my head, but maybe if someone has a real strong ISO 8 attack, it could be good. All right, so stage 1, combat support. Seems very similar to what we have in this Ultimate 16 coming up later this week. On offense and defense, fortifier and healer characters will apply 1 vulnerable up to a maximum of 20. Striker characters will apply 3 vulnerables up to a maximum of 20. And all other characters, so that is skirmisher and raider, I believe, apply 2 vulnerables up to a maximum of 20. So that is interesting stuff there. All characters also when attacking, they'll gain 100% damage per vulnerable on the attacking character. So it could be a lot of damage if you get a lot of these vulnerables stacking. But at the end of the turn, all the vulnerables on this character are gonna be gone. So you could get a lot of damage. I kind of like the rules that benefit you and negatively impact you, and that's what's happening in stage 1. You're getting a lot of vulnerables on yourself, but a trade-off for that, you can do a lot of damage. Stage 2, aggroed, I think it's aggroed, I think that's how it's pronounced. All right, on offense and defense, all characters on turn, the character has taunt, gain offense up on turn, apply assist now to all allies with offense up. So taunting characters get the offense up, and then if they have the offense up, they're gonna get some assist now. So I guess the good thing there is if you're getting a bunch of characters that apply offense up to a bunch of characters early on. Stage 3, offense and defense, all characters, special abilities cost 4 and ability energy left, and on successful critical hit, reduce target's ultimate ability energy by 1. That is interesting. Normally with these specials and ultimates, I think of Dr. Doom, but this is a great one for Kahori. Her special is very, very devastating. That's the one that comes to the top of my head. But if there's any other specials, really strong specials that you don't want on cooldown, let me know who you're thinking in this room as we move on to Spore Attack stage 4. All characters on offense and defense will do damage that reduce the max health of the character by the target by the same amount. So kind of like that null effect there. I think we do have this on the Ultimate 16 this week. A 50% more max health and damage on allied death. Bury yourself for 100% of that character's max health. To me, interesting, and I think a lot of what happens in the Ultimate 16 will determine what characters are used in this room. For Thunder on offense, defense, Thunderbolt characters. When this character's attack, generate 1 ability energy and gain 100% crit chance and crit focus. Interesting. I'm not sure how much this is going to be impactful, especially with the newer Thunderbolts not having a lot of stars on them, but I'm curious to see what this is going to be. And they kept the same name as the Data Mines Dorky's broken headset. I think that is great. Check out the news video from a couple weeks ago, or I think it was last week. If you want to see the clip of this, but all characters on offense and defense on turn remove safeguard and trauma from all other characters, and on successful attack, copy and clear all positive effects. I wish they would have done something with Old Man Logan on this room just for thematic reasons. Go check out the clip from the news update if you want to see what I'm talking about there, though. As we move on to these war season rules, Quasar is here. The Galactic Confrontation with Annihilus has begun. Here are the rules for Galactic Confrontation. That's going to be the next name of the next war season. That's going to begin on May 18th. So I think that is later that is this coming Sunday. Not later this week, next week Sunday, or this next Sunday. All right, 20% more stats to attacking Quasar. So if you unlock Quasar during this war season, he's gonna get more stats. On basic, attacking Quasar, apply exposed to the primary target, 20% more primary stats to defending Starjammer allies. Primary stats, 20% more to attacking allies. When using one of the following full defending teams will provide primary stats. Oh, kind of like what they did with War a few seasons ago. Interesting. Or actually, this is War. What am I talking about? So they did this with a few other teams with War back in the day, but this season it's gonna be Annihilators, Astral, Starjammers, X-Men. Oh, Infestation. I wonder, is this? Oh, this is the same ones. These are the same teams. Infestation. Yeah, this is the same team. Starjammers, I think, got added there, but very similar teams that what was here before. 30% primary stats to attacking Avenger, Liberty, Absolute, A-Force, Vigilante, Thunderbolts, allies. So some changes, but a lot of the similar characters are still there. Let's move on to these rooms. Global Med Bay attack. Apply 2 regeneration to defending allies. Skill allies also receive an additional 2 regeneration. Armory adjacent, 20% primary stats to defending allies. Extra 20% stats to skill allies. So Vigilantes will get some bonuses there. Security adjacent, apply defense down to attacking enemies. The bridge, 10 positive effects to random defending allies. The hangar, 15% barrier to all defending allies. Extra 15% to skill allies. The reactor, apply disrupted to attacking enemies. The barracks, adjacent rooms will have offense up to defending allies. Tech allies will get additional offense up. Cargo bay is a global rule. 10% primary stats to all defending allies. Successful hit. Defending skill allies, which regeneration will apply bleed. And engineering, apply off defense up to defending allies. And of course, all this thing is some change before it actually goes live in the game. So take all of this with a grain of salt. But usually, when this thing is published and it goes live, usually that's how it's going to end up in the game. Now it's time to move on to your mailbag questions of the week. Big shout out to each and every one of you that left a question for this edition of Mailbag. If you want to leave a question in one of these future mailbag videos, which we do every week, usually on Monday, sometimes on Tuesday though, make sure you join the Discord. The link is down below. Go to the Mailbag Questions channel. Ask your question there. And the first question of the week comes from The Rock. Hey there, Valley. I hope you're able to shed some light on the following situation. How are we as players supposed to be able to keep up? I know the game is a resource management game, but this is getting ridiculous. They're decreasing the amount of L4 training materials in the Strike Pass, along with the gold. And this is on the paid version. Despite farming the training orb every single day, I'm still almost 3 teams behind. Starjammers, Thunderbolts, and part of the Vigilantes. And now with them taking the L4s out of the arena store, I'll be even further behind. It costs 3,000 in L4s just to level 1 character completely. Like, I was just desperate for training mats. I purchased the $3,400 L4s for 20 bucks. Why is Scopely decreasing the materials everywhere? Sorry for the minute rant. Thanks for always answering the questions. And as far as why Scopely is doing anything, the answer to that question is always gonna be money. They're always doing it for money. They're a for-profit company. If it's a player-friendly decision, they're doing it because they want more engagement and they want to make more profits. If it's not, they're trying to make money. So all of these decisions, the answer is money. But as far as these L4 training modules, after the 22nd, when we have all the conversion, I hope the only place to get these L4 training modules is not the Intel store. Currently, 60 of them cost 21.6 thousand of your Intel, which is pretty expensive, especially when looking at what other things in the store cost. So we getting character shards, newest character shards, including Victoria Hand later this week. So the newest character shards are going to be in this store for 12,500, 5 of them. 40,000 for gear tier 20 pieces. So this costs 21.6 thousand for some L4 training modules. Not good. I hope they add more gold in other places, add more training modules in other places, because that's stuff that everybody needs. Now, what I'm doing right now, I'd recommend everybody do this. An arena store with all your arena credits, every single refresh, buy your L4 and L3 training modules. That's going to help you stockpile a little bit. And then this arena orb. It's not a great orb as far as your training modules. On your left pillar, on the downside here, 15% chance of getting some L3 training modules. On the right pillar, you also have a 15% chance of getting some training modules as well. Not huge, but what I'm going to do before May 22nd, before the changeover happens, opening all of my arena orbs. I do want to save a couple because I do want to make sure that at every single reset, I could go L4 and L3 training modules. I think with arena, I think you will be able to buy some L3 training modules or maybe an orb or something with Intel. Maybe I'm remembering some things wrong, but yeah, as far as what I'm doing now, as in addition, these Nexus campaigns, also farming these. I think you're doing that as well. And then the villain campaigns as well. You get some training modules there. But what I'm really hoping is that Scopely takes advantage of this command center. Right now, we don't have a lot of rewards as far as objectives, but these milestones, you do have some training modules there. I hope they extend that, especially because they know they're removing sources of L4 training modules from their arena store. I'm hoping we get more L4s than just these objectives. We do have some on a daily basis for the Harbinger milestones, but I hope we get more, and not just the monthly milestones, the weekly milestones, but I hope they run more events like you were talking about that just give out training modules just for some engaged players. Or if you want to get them early, I know towards the end of that milestone, they just kind of gave it away, but if you want to get that stuff early, you can pay for it as well. I hope they communicate a little better because I think some people bought that thinking they would have to buy that, and then they just gave out all the points for that stuff. But I hope they run more events like this. I hope there's better communication with all those events, but yeah, we'll wait and see, guys. I am on a wait and see approach with this. It doesn't look good right now, but diamonds didn't look good, and it ended up being pretty good. Purple ISO 8 didn't look pretty good, ended up being pretty good. Overpowered and red stars looked bad and ended up being just as bad as everybody thought. So hopefully the economy situation with gold, training modules and everything, it's not as bad as everybody expects, but we'll see. Next question comes from Brother Dorky Cool. I have a question about diamonds. Do you think they will 4 and 5 diamonds on TOONS in the game before purple ISO 4 or 5? Not asking because another content creator mentioned more diamonds might be coming. So we actually have a response from Brother Havoc. That's just a rumor, unfortunately. I think Scopely abandoned diamonds for sure. We would have had an announcement for the new Diamond 4 and 5 upgrades on the Overpowered blog announcement, maybe. The latest that I heard on the diamonds was at the Envoy Summit a few months ago. Ryan Jacobson was briefly mentioning that diamonds didn't really hit the mark that they wanted. The things that they wanted to accomplish from diamonds wasn't really met. And I think initially at that early Envoy Summit, like a couple of years ago, they said that diamonds was supposed to last for about 12 to 18 months. I think it's already been past 18 months. So they're probably looking to move on to the next thing. They haven't mentioned anything yet. They may just not go on with the next few diamonds, but I definitely think purple ISO 8, 4, and 5 is on the horizon, especially because they mentioned that specifically in Overpowered. So I think purple ISO 4 and 5 is coming soon. Not sure what is happening with diamonds. Maybe they'll find a way to make it meaningful and hit whatever marks you're trying to hit with the initial release of diamonds. Maybe they won't, and maybe they'll ban it as something else. But I think as far as the answer to your question, yeah, purple ISO 4 and 5 is coming before the next diamonds. Hey, Valley, I'm a big fan. Are we literally in the end game? I'm a moderate spender. I've stopped spending out of fear because it seems Sculpt is purposely driving the game to the ground. There's nothing in the rewards to push for anymore. If you can't participate, sorry for the rant. And I think some of that comes to the event right now. We had a pocket dimension that was pretty fun a few weeks ago. We have another pocket dimension that if you have the Harbinger trait characters, you can participate in this. If you don't, not really anything to participate in right now, not anything new to participate in right now. Shadow King is back. There's a few things to do. But I do think that there's some negative changes, like the overpowered, like the pay-to-play content, but I think there's a lot of positive changes as well. So I'm not sure if we're the end game. I think they're trying to balance the money making and the fun. I don't know if what they've done so far has helped either, but I don't think they're done. I think they want to move everything, like they said, to the command center. Hopefully that gives us more rewards and just more stuff, making things easier, less red dots to click off. We're getting the new Intel store. We don't know. I mean, I guess we kind of know what's in there. We don't know all the details, but I'm hoping all the things from all the other stores, the Raid store, the Blitz store, the Arena store, everything from these stores goes into that legacy store. And then we also have the new stuff in the Intel store. I hope it's super cheap as well. We don't know what all the stuff is going to cost once it goes into this legacy store. So yeah, I think there's some negative things that are going on right now, but I also think there's some positive things on the horizon. I'm looking for that looking forward to that roguelike game mode, and hopefully the next version of Battle World does have a lot of features that was described in the initial presentation on Battle World, and hopefully it's a lot more fun than this current version of Battle World is right now. But yeah, I get you. There's not the rewards right now. I haven't played Cosmic Crucible for a little bit just because the rewards aren't as engaging. I did like what they did with Command Center, offering more intel if you do more Cosmic Crucible battles. But of course, the reason I haven't been playing Crucible is just time-wise on the weekends, not necessarily because of overpowered and things like that. All right. Hey, Valley, hope you're doing well. I am now struggling, like I said yesterday, but hopefully what I said in the beginning of the video would help anybody else that is struggling, you know, not the only one. Reach out. But yeah, I'm doing well now, and my back is actually feeling a little better. So hopefully it can return to jiu-jitsu, maybe not full rolling, but limited rolling. Hopefully we can start to do that soon. But I hope you are doing well, my friend. 2 days for moving every new stat era character to gear tier 19. My question is, what should I work towards next? And this is not necessarily the best strategy or the worst strategy, but again, this is a game of fun. So if doing all this for your characters is fun, do that. Completing things, you know, a lot of this for me is not just the gameplay, it's also about that collection, and you know, sometimes it might be ideal to do something like that, but you got to do stuff that makes you happy in the game, and that's not necessarily the worst thing either. But all the new stats characters, gear tier 19. Question is, what should I work towards next? Plan to move all the new toons with the new stat era to 19.5. But my question, should I also equip the crimson pieces that don't require gear tier 19 pieces? Example, left side pieces for Hercules. On all these new toons, should I go ahead and move to the new toons that are level 100 to gear 19 as well? Examples would be Illuminati, Superior 6. I appreciate you, the hard work, despite the downtime of the game. Yeah, the game, like I said, it's not the best time in the game, but I do see a lot of good on the horizon, which is why, even though it's not as exciting for me, it may still be exciting for a lot of players, but for me, it's not as exciting. I'm still kind of excited about the future of what is coming. But let's go into the game and talk about what all that means. I think if you've been in the community for a while, you know what 19 is and 19.5 is. 19 is pretty easy. Once you equip gear tier 19, that's pretty much 19 once you have that on. But if you equip this piece, you look at what it adds a lot of health, a lot of focus, a lot of resistance. Actually, this is not a good case, guys. Let's go to an example like Zombie Scarlet Witch. This is going to add health, damage, focus. A lot of characters, it does add health, damage, and focus to the stats. A lot of stats, 600,000 health, 30,000 damage, 1200 focus in the example of Zombie Scarlet Witch. So equipping that piece, the left piece, center left piece that requires this mini unique, that is what 19.5 means. But as far as equipping pieces that don't require gear tier 20, that is like these on Taskmaster. So what he's talking about is if you look at this piece, the Crimson encoded data and this Crimson microdot, it's hard to tell, but if you look at this, is 1, 2, 3, these are gear tier 20 pieces. We go back up to the top section for Taskmaster. We look at these 1, 2, these are gear tier 19 pieces. They look very similar. They're very they're based on the origin of the characters, so very, very similar with all this stuff. But this would be gear tier 20, and then or gear tier 19 pieces. These are gear tier 20 pieces for Taskmaster. And should you equip the gear tier 19? I think it depends on the character. So like Odin's a bad example. Where's one that I equipped a lot of gear tier 19 pieces? We got Blade. Blade's an example here. So if we look at some of these pieces, these are gear tier 19 pieces here. We have a gear tier 19 piece here as well. We did one of the gear tier 20 pieces, but we have 2 more to do for Blade. And I guess we're going to do this one right now. We're going to do this one for Blade eventually. So yeah, so this one is the only gear tier 20 piece that we're missing. Should you do the rest of these? And I think that does depend on usage. Blade, I'm going to use them a lot in the raids. So I'm going to build them. I'm going to put all these extra gear tier 19 pieces on him. Same thing with raid characters. If I was really into Crucible, I would do that for Crucible characters. If I was really into War, I'll do that for War. Right now, it's just raid characters and just arena characters. Everyone else, I'm not doing. So it will be based on the usage. And the same thing goes for your pre-Ares stat characters like your Superior 6, like the Illuminati. If you're using them enough to justify building them up, putting some resources in them, then yes, use them. If you're using them a lot and they're doing everything you want though, even if you have a lot of usage for them, you may not want to upgrade them. So I think a lot of that is your usage. And if they're not accomplishing what you need them to accomplish in the game, for me, I'm not just blanket upgrading every character because some characters, they don't need as many stats. Some characters do need a lot of stats. Some characters, I need to upgrade certain things to enter some content, and sometimes some things I don't. So for me, it's not just a blanket thing, but like I said, it's a game. You should have fun with it. And if doing that with your roster, upgrading them all is a good fun thing for you, then do that. But it should be based on usage, how you upgrade your characters. That would be the ideal thing to do. So if you are using these characters, yeah, upgrade them to 19 and a half, put the gear tier 19 pieces on them. And if you're using more of those pre-Ares stat characters, upgrade them. All right, Valley, when did the Blitz Orbs, Spotlight Orbs, and Raid Orbers change? What shards they drop, or are they going away on the 20 seconds? Thanks, Hulk Fist Bump out. So in that first blog describing the score, they didn't mention any orbs that will be removed. They mentioned the credits. So there are certain orbs that you're not going to be able to buy with these normal legacy credits anymore, because it's all changing over to this new shop credits. In this more recent blog, they did mention a few orbs that either wouldn't be available or they're going to be not purchasable with raid credits. The first is this Crimson Gear Raid Orb, no longer purchasable using these Elite Raid credits. So that's why I would open all of your Crimson Gear Raid Orbs, use all of your Elite credits, because I guess you could still buy this Crimson Gear Raid Orb with your supply credits, but I'm still gonna purchase it with the Elite Raid credits just in case something doesn't happen. But you can still earn these from the orbs. It's just gonna go into a different place. The arena orbs will be removed from the game entirely, which is why you should probably open all of your arena orbs with your arena credits before the conversion happens, because there are some training modules in there. And yeah, you may be getting more training modules from that orb rather than the conversion of the supply at the legacy shop and then buying them directly. Maybe it's not, but I'm gonna open all these arena orbs, just assuming that it's gonna be a little better rate. All right, and then also removing Chief L4 training modules from the arena store as well, which is also why I'm recommending buying L3 and L4 training modules every single reset until you have no more arena credits. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think those are changing over as well? Do you think there's gonna be another announcement describing some changes to those? Hopefully you got some value from this video, and if you did, leave it a like. Check me out on social media. Check out my second channel, all about Raid Shadow Legends. New code for free legendary just came out, so check out my channel, all about the details there. And if you want to see what are the best characters to farm in Marvel Strike Force right now, check out the video up there. I'll see you guys next time. Hulkfest bump. ValleyFlyin out. Have a great day, guys.